Well, we have found ourselves in Florida. Why? Because that's where the drug judge is at. Literally, a drug judge. I'm just throwing that out there. Also, people hate it when I do this, so I'm going to try to remember to do it 3 times. 81% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You got your phone in your hand, you got your laptop, click the button, and we'll move along. So, we're going to move along to Florida to the drug judge and see what this one's up to. Florida judge arrested on DUI charge found with cocaine during traffic stop, according to the affidavit. April 25th, 2025. Jensen Beach, Florida. A Florida judge will appear on the other side of the courtroom after a traffic stop led to his arrest earlier this week. Brett Waronicki, a circuit judge for Florida's 19th Judicial Circuit in Fort Pierce, was arrested Wednesday on charges of DUI and possession of drug paraphernalia, which I find that strange that he was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. He had cocaine residue in his wallet, and at least in North Carolina, residue is, they field tested it and it was positive for cocaine. In North Carolina, that is possession of a controlled substance, even a small amount of it. And it's a Class I felony, and you're looking at 6 to 12 months. Possession of drug paraphernalia, on the other hand, is illegal under the state law, but it is not illegal under federal law. So, go figure that. And as far as the state possession, you're looking at about, 120 days in jail. Anyway, let's see how this plays out. Deputies with the Martin County Sheriff's Office spotted a Ford F-150 swerving in a lane, striking the fog line and a bike lane several times, and going through a roundabout without any lights on around 10:41 p.m. on Northwest Jensen Beach Boulevard. When Waronicki was pulled over, authorities noted a strong alcoholic smell on his breath, bloodshot watery eyes, slurred thick-tongued speech, body tremors, and trouble sitting still, the affidavit said. The judge told deputies he was going to pick up 2 friends and head back to his home before admitting he had had 2 vodka drinks, having had his last drink at 6:30 that night. See, the 2 drinks, they watch too many episodes of Cops, because every time they pull people over and they say, how many of you had a drink? Oh, just 2. Just 2. So it's always just 2, apparently. Court documents show Waronicki did not want to do field sobriety exercises because he did nothing wrong and refused an alcohol breath test. Well, normally that automatically revokes your license. A canine searched Waronicki's vehicle, discovering cocaine residue in Waronicki's wallet. The circuit judge was taken to the Marion County Jail along with the 2 passengers in his vehicle who were also cited for possession of cocaine. A statement from the 19th Judicial Circuit obtained by the News read in part, all cases currently assigned to Circuit Judge Brett, his name is Brett Michael, remember Brett Michaels back in the day? Anyway, Waronicki will be renoticed for hearing before a temporary duty judge when available. Consent with the chief judge's authority under court rules. The chief judge will take steps to ensure the speedy, efficient, and proper administration of pending and filed cases within the circuit. Litigants with questions regarding any schedule changes to upcoming hearings may visit the St. Lucie Clerk of Court website to locate up-to-date information. According to the News, 2 people came forward about Waronicki's drug use. For several weeks, narcotics investigators with the Sheriff's Office have been looking into the judge. Waronicki is scheduled to appear in court on May 22nd. And we will keep an eye on that one. So, let's go to the video. Hold up.
These documents detail the investigation into Judge Brett Waronicki. Martin County Sheriff Budensieg tells me it all started when 2 people came forward with suspicions about drug activity involving the judge weeks ago. Body cam footage provided by the Martin County Sheriff's Office.
Hey, how are you tonight, sir?
Shows the moment deputies pulled over a truck in Jensen Beach.
You were driving in the bike lane. You went over into the bike lane like 3 times, right?
The man driving the car, deputies say, is Brett Waronicki, a 19th Circuit Court judge out of St. Lucie County. Sheriff Budensiek says for weeks his undercover narcotics investigators have been looking into the judge.
Last night, while they were doing surveillance, they saw actions that kind of fit the use of drugs.
According to this arrest report, investigators say after pulling over the truck, they noticed, quote, slurred, thick-tongued speech and, quote, the strong odor of alcohol on his breath. After refusing field sobriety and breathalyzer tests, he was arrested on a DUI charge. A canine was brought out to search the car.
Dog alerted, and a subsequent search of the vehicle resulted in the judge having what appears to be cocaine residue.
See the look on his face? See his Mr. This is some academy bullshit. They make you stand like that. Even he has a look on his face when he's explaining the charges like, this shit ain't right. I'm just saying.
Residue in his wallet tested positive, presumptive field test for cocaine.
The sheriff tells me the residue in his wallet resulted in a drug paraphernalia charge.
The residue in his wallet, the controlled substance in his wallet, resulted in a charge of drug paraphernalia. But the passengers didn't fare so well.
2 passengers in the vehicle were cited for possession of cocaine, with 1 passenger additionally facing a possession of paraphernalia charge.
So the passengers got possession of cocaine, and 1 got possession of cocaine and drug paraphernalia. You can't make this up.
Waronicki did not answer questions from investigators.
Also, I think the front passenger was a magistrate, and the back passenger, I'm not sure exactly who the back passenger was.
But the sheriff says more charges are possible.
No one claimed the drugs found in the car, so we're going to do fingerprint testing, DNA.
Nobody claimed the drugs that were in the car. Now, see, back in the day, remember when you used to watch Cops and nobody claimed it? When nobody claimed it, everyone in the vehicle went down for it. They'd say, everybody's going, let the judge figure it out. Well, in this case, I guess never mind.
Testing and just see what comes back.
Searching for answers, our team reached out to the 19th Circuit Court. They sent over a statement saying in part, quote, all cases currently assigned to Circuit Judge Brett M. Waronicki will be renoticed for hearing before a temporary duty judge when available, consistent with the Chief Judge's authority under court rules, end quote. According to the court's website, Waronicki handles civil cases, including substance abuse and mental health court cases. He's scheduled to be in
substance abuse and mental health. And there's another one. It's in the next one that he handles.
Court in May. Reporting in Martin County, I'm Michael Hoffman. Back to you.
Thank you, Michael. So, this is where we're at right now. Circuit Judge Brett M. Waronicki may face discipline before Florida Supreme Court. I'm going to go to reader mode because this is going to be a pain in the ass. There's the drug judge, Fort Pierce, with Circuit Court Judge Brett M. Waronicki facing a trio of misdemeanor charges. He'll likely soon be hearing from the Florida Judicial Qualifications Commission, an independent agency that investigates misconduct by state judges. And depending on the results of the JQC investigation, records show Waronicki, 46, who was appointed by Governor Ron DeSantis in 2020, could face a punishment ranging from a fine up to removal from the bench by the Florida Supreme Court. Circuit judges serve 6 terms and are subject to the same disciplinary standards and procedures as the Supreme Court justices and district court judges. Waronicki was arrested on April 23rd on DUI and possession of drug paraphernalia charges. Also DUI, he didn't do any of the sobriety, the standard sobriety test, the walk and turn, all that shit. He didn't do breathalyzer. I'm guessing he didn't do the intoxilizer or whatever they call it now. That should result in an automatic revocation of his driver's license. I'm just saying. Along with 2 other people in his Ford F-150 during a traffic stop at about 10:40 p.m. on Northwest Jensen Beach Boulevard, reports stated. He was identified as the driver of the vehicle, with Wendy Detroya, 43, as the front seat passenger, and Christopher Greenman, 36, as the back seat passenger, court records show. Detroya and Greenman each were arrested on a possession of cocaine charge, while Greenman was arrested on an additional possession of drug paraphernalia charge. The traffic stop followed complaints weeks ago to Martin County Sheriff's officials that Waronicki was involved in drug activity at a bar in Jensen Beach. Investigators shortly before 3 a.m. on April 24th executed a search warrant at Waronicki's condo and reported finding cocaine residue on a Florida bar card. That's his bar card with Waronicki's name on it. Also, residue, that's another possession of a controlled substance. I'm just throwing that out there for the pesky citizens. Guess what your charge is? Possession of a controlled substance. Apparently even the magistrate in the back seat get that same one. Guess what the judge gets? Paraphernalia. Before investigators searched his home for possible drug violations, an informant reported Waronicki and an administrative assistant for a magistrate were party animals who often went on binges, court records stated. So that was the administrative assistant for the magistrate, apparently. Waronicki had been assigned to the St. Lucie County Courthouse, where he handled all civil jury trial cases, all substance abuse and mental health cases, and all risk protection order cases. You can't make this up. According to the 19th Judicial Circuit website, the 19th Circuit includes Indian River, Martin, Okeechobee, and St. Lucie counties. According to an email statement from Trial Court Administrator Patty Harris attributed to the 19th Judicial Circuit, all cases assigned to Waronicki have been renoticed for hearing before a temporary duty judge. The Chief Judge will take steps to ensure the speedy efficiency and proper administration of pending and filed cases within the circuit, Harris said via email. She identified Detroya as an administrative assistant for the magistrate, so it wasn't actually the magistrate. What is the Judicial Qualifications Commission? Glad you asked. Yes, the dog's downstairs barking. You probably hear that. It will be okay. The JQC was created by the Florida Constitution to investigate written complaints against judges whose conduct demonstrates a present unfitness to hold office, and to recommend disciplinary action to the Supreme Court for any judge whose conduct during term of office warrants such discipline. The JQC is not part of the Florida Supreme Court or the state courts and can investigate a judge for misconduct if a complaint is filed at any time while the judge is in office or for 1 year afterward, according to the JQC website. Ethical standards for judges, called the Code of Judicial Conduct, apply to judges at all levels and of the state court systems, including county and circuit judges, district court of appeal judges, and Florida Supreme Court judges. Alex Williams, general counsel for the JQC, on April 28th declined to discuss Waronicki's circumstances or whether an investigation is pending. Well, there better be something pending. The commission is aware of the news reports, Williams said. JQC investigations. If the JQC receives a written complaint involving a judge, an investigative panel determines if there's been a violation of the Code of Judicial Conduct. Well, the judge has got some blow. I'm thinking that violates a lot. The judge involved may be invited to provide an explanation, and the investigative panel may hear from the judge. Judge, we invite you to provide an explanation. Would you like to come? No, I'm good. Okay. The investigative panel makes a probable cause determination, and if probable cause is found, the judge involved may agree to receive a sanction. Judge, do you agree to receive a sanction? Nope. Okay, you're good. If no agreement is reached, an evidentiary hearing may be conducted and a recommendation for discipline is sent to the Florida Supreme Court. Florida Supreme Court, we recommend discipline. Florida Supreme Court, no, we're good. Okay. During the initial investigation, the Florida Constitution mandates that all JQC complaints, investigations, and proceedings remain confidential. The confidentiality ends only when the JQC investigates panel files with the Supreme Court a notice of formal charges, which is the first public announcement that a formal investigation is underway. It is much like finding of probable cause in a criminal investigation, according to JQC's website. The JQC has authority to recommend discipline. The final authority to determine whether the JQC recommendations is legally correct rests with the Supreme Court. Possible forms of discipline can include no discipline, a fine, a public reprimand, suspension from office, or removal from office. So, can include no discipline, a fine, public reprimand, suspension from office, or removal from office. What do you think the judge is going to get? What do you think is going to happen to the good judge here? Right here. What do you think is going to happen to him? I'm guessing, if I was a betting person, my guess would be nothing will likely happen to the judge. I don't know. They said he has a court date coming up May 22nd. We'll be keeping an eye on the drug judge and see what becomes of him. Anyway, that's where we're at with this one. Let me know what you think about this shit show in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. Also, again, 81% of people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. You got your phone in your hand, you got your laptop, click the button and we will move along. Let me know what you think about this one, and I am out.